Solve fractional ratio problems. If that doesn't sound exciting, well, that's normal. So fractions can be overwhelming. And when we throw fractions into a ratio, remember, a ratio is a comparison. So oftentimes we write that as a fraction. So think about a fraction within a fraction. So we're going to break these down into steps to make it less daunting. So let's jump in. Here are the steps. The first thing, identify the ratio that you're given. Write it down. So many people think, oh, I'll remember. You don't remember anything. Write it down. Be able to see it. After you have your ratio written, identify the known term of the equivalent ratio you need to find. I'm telling you, the more you can put down and understand what you have and what you're looking for, that's the key. Then, there are two ways to do this, but we are going to set up a proportion to solve the unknown value. I think that's the easiest way to do it so that you don't have to say, ooh, which method am I using? I prefer to be consistent and always do the same. So let's jump through these three hoops. You can mow 2/5 of the lawn in 1/3 of an hour. How much of the lawn can you mow in 3/4 of an hour? Whew. Okay, so this is where we get into that's a lot of fractions. What am I supposed to do with all of those? So start with, what do we know? I know that I can mow 2/5 of the lawn in 1/3 of an hour. That's the ratio I know. 2/5 to 1/3, right? This is the lawn. This is the hour. Write it down. Then part 2 says, okay, now what do you know? How much of the lawn? Okay, lawn, think about this. The lawn is in the numerator. How much? I don't know. Let's call that X. Can you mow in 3/4 of an hour? Okay, well, the hours are in the denominator, so 3/4 goes down here, right? So the second piece is identifying what we don't know. I don't know about the lawn. That's why my unknown is in the numerator. 3/4 of an hour in the denominator. Now I have a proportion. So how do we solve proportions? Cross multiply, meaning denominator of one fraction multiplied by the numerator of the other. So I have 1/3 times X equals 3/4 times 2/5. Now, if you look at the right side of our equal sign, when I'm multiplying fractions, hold on, let me rewrite 3/4 so it looks a little prettier. There we go. I can reduce numerator to denominator. So 2 and 4 are both reducible by 2. So I can simplify. I still have 1/3 X on the left side of my equal sign. And now when I multiply straight across, 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 5 is 10. Great. So now I want to get X by itself. So if I multiply by the reciprocal of 3/1, because when I do that, the 3's cancel out, the 1's cancel out, I'm left with just 1X. And now on the left, I multiply straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. 10 times 1 is 10. So I can mow 9/10 of the lawn in 3/4 of an hour. Okay, let's do one more. I can read 1/8 of a book in 2/3 of an hour. I need to read half the book for school tomorrow. How long will it take me to read half of a book? Again, start with what you know. I know I can read 1/8 of the book in 2/3 of an hour. Write down what you know. Okay, then we go. I need to read half the book. Okay, book is in the numerator and half. Boom. How long will it take me? Now I need to find the time. So slightly different than the last one. And again, I have a proportion. It kind of sets it up for us. That's also why I like to do this. All right, so let's do our cross multiplying. So I take 2/3 times 1/2 equals x times 1/8. I always write my x after the number, so that's why I did that. Okay, on the left side, 2 goes into 2 one time. So I reduce down to 1/3 equals 1/8 x. Because when I multiply straight across, 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 1 is 3. Now to get x by itself, I multiply by 8/1 because the 8's cancel out to be 1, so I have 1/1, which is just 1x. And now when I multiply straight across, I get 8/3 of an hour, right? Because x is in hours. Well, if you change that to a mixed number, that is 2 2/3 hours, or 2 hours, 40 minutes to read half of a book. Better start reading.